Good afternoon. Today I'm making a purse. So here are the two purses that I kind of like the vibes of. I, and by vibes, I mean I like the handle of this one, but I like the size of this one in the sense of like width. So my plan is I want to make not a bag like this because these are very not elegant because they're very casual, but they're just, with the gold hardware, all that stuff. And I want something a little bit more boho chic looking that I can wear whenever. So my plan to add a little pop of color is to use the same pink fabric that I made the dress for. And basically I bought this black leather-ish material to do the outside. So my plan, the vision, the vibe that I'm going with is I want to make sure I can put my iPad in it, whether that be up and down or side to side. So when I put this as like a guide to see if my, I don't know if they would be called handles, but if the side would work, it would. Obviously, I am making a different type of bag style, but just for the height, I'm using this as like a guide. So the height of how I have my this fabric is the size that I need it to be. So my plan right now is just trying to figure out and make sure that I have enough leather to cover what I'm going to be cutting. And I think where I have this should work. So let me get some scissors, 1 second. So now that I have my scissors, I am going to give myself some extra space just because I don't know if this is straight or not. And regardless, I am going to be sewing into it and I do want to make some pockets. I'll showcase, I have my book in a little bit, what I'm thinking. But here is my first little cut, I guess, which I think should be around here. Now that it's all cut, my plan is to fold it like so. I'm not going to cut quite just yet because I need to double check my measurements. And I definitely think I want this little fringy part at the bottom. So the idea here is, let's make sure it's kind of like as straight as possible. So the idea here is that if this is as straight as can be, the iPad, because this is kind of how I'm measuring everything, should be able to fit somewhere here in the middle. And probably cut it this way because these are my openings. So based off my notes and how I kind of envision the way that I'm going to cut this, show right here, I want to cut a section off of this side. So when I put it flat, it'll be corner, corner. And then I'll probably cut from the top down and in for where I feel best. I think I'm going to draw some lines on it just to visually see how that would work. And then we'll cut. So let me take a look and then we'll regroup in a second. The best way that I think personally to have it match my book is basically I twisted it over. So now what I'm planning on doing is putting my iPad right here. So like halfway, because this feels right for the sense of thickness that I want and the height that I want when they're both like side by side together and then side by side together. That feels right, and it feels like it kind of matches this in a way where it's like a couple of fingers here and there, and then this one as well from the bottom, a couple here, a couple there. And then in addition to that, when I do the lines for this, which I think it would have to be this way, like that, it'll be kind of around here anyway, so I think it'll work well. So let me just draw my little lines here, because I have it placed how I would need to. About right. And then let's check the book again, make sure we have it. 4, and then I think maybe like around here. I'll kind of round up the edges. A decision of actually more or less measuring, so you can see that I kind of switched where I was doing it. So I'm gonna cut around 5-ish centimeters off of one side, so that would be here, and then about another 5 centimeters this way. So this is about 5 centimeters. And then over here, you can kind of see that my line, I kind of switched it, because if I would have gone up this way, it would have been a little too thick. So I'm going to use this one as my line here. I do want to put this on this side, like so. And then we grab the fabric and we just cut. Okay, so now with this section, I'm going to make the pockets and stuff that I think you would have seen in the other side. And then this, if I open it up, I believe it should showcase as the bag. So this is more or less what the bag will be. It's pretty big. It'll definitely fit the iPad and anything else big or small. It's definitely bigger than like a tiny little bag, but it should work because I will be, you know, bringing in the sides and whatnot. So let me get to making the pockets. When it comes to the pockets, I intend to do a couple of big ones and then a couple of small ones. And what I mean by that is, again, I did draw them out. So depending on how much extra fabric I have, I want to make a little one for like my phone, potentially a medium-sized one for just like wallet or something, and then either a medium or a large one dependent on how I'm able to cut this. So let's see how that goes. I ended up just sewing the inside first, so as you can see, it looks pretty good, I think. So now if I put it inside out, I did make a hole here at the bottom, so when I put the black leather around it, it should be able to fit through it. But this is what it looks like. So I do need to put the pockets. I figured I was better off figuring out how close it would be when it was like this, so then I can figure out how I want to put the pockets in here. And in addition to that, I had to figure out how the pockets would look, just because this is gonna be going in the inside, so it would look like this onto the purse, and then the black part would be on this side, so the pockets would go in here. So with that being said, I think I'll do the pockets first because they still have white thread in here, and for the black leather I do want to use like a more strong and like black thread. But that's where we're at. We have the baseline of the bag, and the iPad does in fact fit, so we're on to a good start. Let's see how these pockets go. I just finished up the leather part. So basically this one was much easier, I feel like, because I had to sew all of the sides and then these together. So I'm gonna flip it around to see if it worked. I did do it with white. I know I probably should have done it with black, but I wasn't gonna have enough black thread for the entire purse, so I figured white will do. And this is how it came out. So I think it works exactly for what I was planning, and then, you know, I'll have the pink inside of it. It's nice and slouchy, just the way I wanted, like so. Gotta pop these things out. So now next steps are, I have to put this in the pink right side up to then sew these sides and leaving like some space here. And then before that, actually, I might add some stuff here. I bought something. Give me 1 second. Let me go get this like black thing to kind of hold and have like a closer, because I didn't want it to be magnetic or like a little clasp. I kind of wanted something that I can either leave open or closed. So I'm thinking I'll probably hand sew it and maybe just put it here like so, because it does match, which is good. And I'll probably do it, I have this pink thread, which is a little too pink for this material, so I'm gonna go take a look and see if I have some just regular pink thread, but we'll see. I'll definitely showcase how that would look like. And basically, like I said, it'll just be one on this side. Where did I put the other one? One on the other side with potentially the pink. I don't know if you can tell. Oh, it fell. On each side, and then that would be like a closer. But I think it looks pretty good. This is the outside of the back. I switched areas, but basically you can see that I kind of sewed this bit and this one. I did it by hand. It's still connected, and I did find a lighter thread and I kind of just made it smaller, but now it should hook nicely. And I will say the best way to make sure that they're on the same side or like even is, once I did one side, I put it together and then I just put the needle right through, and then it was like a perfect start for the other side. So just a little tip. But now it's time to put them all together. So I'm very excited about this because I'm gonna do it in a way that I usually don't do these kinds of things. So we have to have them both right side up, which means that this side, we're not doing it inside out, it'll be right side up. And then this side, where I have like my little pockets, as you can see, has to be facing this side. So for me personally, I think I want the side with the big pocket where the this hook is, which means that I'm going to be putting it in this way. So now that it's in the bag, or the bag's in the bag, right face forward, so this one's inside out while this one's facing the correct way. And then, like I said, hole has to be here, and I think it's big enough to just pull it through, but we'll see. I guess I never finished these, but that's okay. And then last thing is making sure that there's some like allowance here, because these will end up going together, so I don't want to sew this all the way, but I think that might just be on one side, not the whole thing, so I'll show that. But let's get to sewing the last part, because after that, that's it. We should be done. Fingers crossed if all goes smoothly. I finished sewing everything, so you can see it's all like together now. So now it's the time to see if it all fits through this hole. I don't know if it will, but let's see how it goes. The colors on this, it's so like distinct, but I love it because I love a little pop of color. Oh my goodness. Okay, so this was the side that we left like that extra right here. The bag is basically done. So now that I did this part, I'm just holding this together because I do need to go over it and do like a finalize just to make sure everything's kind of where it needs to be. I will be switching my top thread to a black one and then keeping the bobbin white just because the inside lining is a lighter color and I feel like black on black is just not going to look good and I don't have enough thread. So fingers crossed I have enough to finish this, but we'll see. And yeah, that's basically it. I honestly didn't think I could do it, but like it looks so good and I'll show like what I can fit into it once we're done doing the final little touches. One side is done. If I'm being honest, it really does elevate the look of the bag when it has the seams, or I don't know what it's called, like the edges pressed compared to this side where it's like a little bit more up and open. So I will, finish up and do the other side, but I like it. I think it looks really cute and I love the pop of color. So like even though it's black, it has some pink and white to it. So it's very springish and like for summer. But I will finish this other side real quick. Doing it black and white at the bottom really did help out because it does look nice both inside and out. But yeah, let's show how it looks like. Here is the update of my bag. So I forgot completely and I'm currently editing to, showcase what it looks like. And I have been using it. I've used it a couple of times. So this is what it looks like full. I'll show what's in my bag right now, which so happens to be my iPad. So it did fit what I wanted it to fit, which is great. I also have my camera in here, so I love the fact that because it is so slouchy, you can't really notice, what's actually in there. So it's all like build and puffied out. I also have my little camera, so this Kodak Charmera that I carry with me and my little tiny vlog one that I can take out whenever as well, and sometimes I will clip it to the side, but this is how it currently looks like. Then I also have my bag, so this has lipsticks, eyelash curlers, different things like that in here. I have my wallet, and then I have my phone. And that's really about it of what I carried in my bag, because sometimes I do carry like a little bag in here, but it has stuff in it and I can see it over there. But this is the bag all in all. I honestly really do like it and enjoy it, and I will say adding this here has been nice because it does get pretty puffed. So when that happens, it's nice to have, but I will say it would have been better if I added like a clip instead, just so it can actually be closed fully and not just like kind of semi-closed. But that's my little 2 cents. And yeah, finalized bag. Woo! And yeah, that was me making a purse. Let's see what else I end up doing, because honestly, never thought I would do this, but love it. Bye.